Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the rumpled one. It's Sunday, January the 28th, the year 2018. Weekly open gap. Not really interested in watching the Pro Bowl, so I'm sitting in front of the computer, watching the market. Money and risk management. For those of you just tuning in, it's important. It's something you always have to keep in mind. It's not that complicated. Oh, and for those of you who have been asking me about taking profit and when to exit, look at my exit playbook videos. I'm going to give everybody the same answer. Just look at those videos and you'll see how you can set up your own exit playbook. Okay, as you can see here, most of the gaps have filled. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps that are still open. Now, it's kind of interesting because I looked up the definition of gap, and the reason I looked it up was because there's another trader who uses the pivots, and he talks about gapping. And to me, I can't quite understand it. I'm trying to see if there's another word possibly that they can use, or I can translate when they say gap. I'll translate it to something else, because it just seems to be confusing because I don't see any gaps on the chart. But gap has more than one meaning. So you might want to check out the dictionary and look at the various meanings of the word gap. But I couldn't find one that, or I didn't see one that applies, at least I can't see how it would be applied to their style of trading. And it looks like the spreads have calmed down. Because a couple traders asked about, when it comes on this, first day of the week, Sunday/Monday, depending on where you are in the world, sometimes those spreads can be, 10, 15, 20 pips. They're just ridiculous. But if you watch, usually one side moves and the other side doesn't, meaning they might hold the ask steady and they'll slowly bring the bid up, or they'll hold the bid and slowly bring the ask down to the bid. So you can just sit there and watch it, and look at the pair or pairs that you trade, and just observe the behavior, and then you'll get to understand what's going on. You'll get to observe, and you'll get to draw your own conclusions. Okay, taking a look at the daily chart here. So far, nothing too exciting. Looks like we've had some movement, though, on the Euro New Zealand. It's 30 pips below. And some movement on the pound CAD. 47 pips above the open. Oh, while we're looking at the daily chart, I got a reply, I think it was on the last video, when I said something about, you can place pending orders at the previous day's high and low and just wait for them to trigger. Okay, on Friday, nothing would have triggered, but that's okay. The day before, you would have had a trigger here, you would have cleaned up. Day before that, there's another trigger to the long side. Day before that, another trigger. Here on the low side, not much. Here on the high side, here on the low side, here on the high and low side, no trade there. So a simple trade is just sticking a pending order at the previous day's high or low. Sometimes it's just too simple. Especially for traders who can't sit there and watch the screen, 24/7. And now, of course, there's going to be a question, where do you put your stop loss? Well, I've already gone over that in that other screen that I show every day. If you don't, if you choose a position size, then and you know your risk, then it will tell you where to put the stop loss. On the other hand, if you pick a stop loss somewhere on the chart, then it will determine your position size. I mean, it's basics. There's nothing complex here. And so you guys that ask me, I'm going to give the same answer over and over. Oh, a little side note. I'm chuckling here because something else. I don't know how, but I stumbled upon a site and they were talking about something. I don't know if somebody sent me the site or I just somehow clicked through. And they said, you know, to see something you had to log in. So I go, huh. So I just put in, you know, TheRumpledOne and a password. And then it came back, TheRumpledOne banned, never to be reinstated or something like, or banned forever. And I was laughing because I went through the thread and I looked. And the reason they banned me was because I was using big fonts and bold colors and bolding. I mean, these are features on the forum. And some people didn't like that. And they booted me because I refused to not use those features. I go, if there's a feature, then I should be able to use it. It's just that plain and simple. And I got booted. And it made me think, because not only have I been booted off of trading forums, I've been booted off of survival prepper forums. I've been booted, you name it, I've probably been booted from it. And I guess the reason is because I guess I have like pretty much zero tolerance for nonsense, BS, if you know what I mean. And to me, that's just total nonsense. You can't use the color red. It's aggressive. I mean, well, then why do I have these choices? I mean, remove the choices. You don't want me using big, large size fonts? Then don't give me the capability. But if they're there, why shouldn't I use them? I mean, it's just ridiculous what some people will do. But, you know, hey, it's on me. I could choose to comply, but I just don't. And, you know, it's not that I don't play well with others. I just don't play well with BS rules and, you know, egos and all that other stupid stuff. So I got a chuckle out of it. But anyway, okay, enough off the side. Let's get back to trading here. Okay, let's move down the line. As you can see, the buy zone. Looks like we had a little trigger there. Okay. And probably looking like you're going to get stopped out if you took that first trade there. Now, one thing with the buy zone, you might want to consider, if we go back to the daily chart, you see we had a green candle. Well, you might want to bias your first trade long because that previous day was long. That's just something that I've noticed. But does it work all the time? Of course not. You just have a slight edge. Okay, as you can see, there's no rat zone and there's not enough range. We've only got 16 pip range. And we're looking at the pivot traders. Looks like the pivot already was hit right there. Not much of a pivot distance. Once again, price action, price action, price action. A turn trade right here. And you can see simple price action. Green candle color, green at the line. You go long, you'd be up 4 to 6 pips at the moment. This is not difficult. It's just the same stuff day after day, week after week, month after month. Yesterday, you know, the 5 lines from the previous, the high, the mid, the close, the open, and the low. As you can see, if we just trade with candle color at the line, what happens? You can pick up a few pips. Sometimes a few, sometimes many, like here. The wick zone, price doesn't like to stay in the wick zone. You can see here it went in, came out, and it's back in. Big wick zone on the euro. Highest open, lowest open trade, you can see here. We've got the lowest open, and it's moved up. Should probably make that a little bit bigger. There you go. We're looking at M15. We can switch that over to the 1 hour chart. And you can see what it looks like. The M15 gives you more of a picture, so you can see the price action there. And the squigglies, I guess they're staying long because it's above the moving average, and the moving averages are going up. And let's see, since I turned on the computer right there, so you can see prices going in the upward direction. And I still might update that indicator. Oh, and by the way, Crestlick.com still seems to be down. I don't know when the hall's going to get it running. So, guys, you'll just have to bear with it. Meanwhile, you know, you can visit me and my Pal Talk trading room, the 2% Club, TWO2. You can, I've got, what, a Facebook group, TheRumpledOne, Never Lose Again, or something like that. Just look for me on Facebook there. And that's pretty much where you can find me online. And you guys, most of you, you know my email address here. It's right there. So if you want to get in touch, shoot me an email. We can get in touch. So, once again, just simple stuff here. I mean, since I started, price is up. Which way is price going? Up. Okay, looking here, another 1 minute chart using my updated spread dots, so you can see where the valleys and the peaks are, which are these lines here, where you can see the peaks and the valleys. So what do you want to do when price comes down and goes back up through? That means price is going up right here, because this is the ask. The ask is moving down. It stopped. Then you have the bids crossing above. So now you can see that the bids are going up. They will make a peak, and then when the ask price cuts down, then price is going down. That's the rule of thumb there. And I did say, you know, since yesterday's or Friday's candle was green, we're looking at the euro, you might want to have a bias to the upside. And that's about it. I think I've touched on all the questions. People are sending me code to work on. If I get a chance, I will work on it for you guys. You know how I do that. But squigglies, sorry, you guys get the lower priority, because you know how I feel about squiggly line indicators. Let's see. As far as the donationals, yes, batch 1 is out. I'll probably be working on batch 2 sometime and get that out probably by the end of the week. You'll be getting this updated version of the tick chart indicator right here. I'll be adding into the mother load actually no, this is the spread dots. That's going to be that's also be part of the donational. Yeah, So, fellow traders, it's not what you trade, it's how you